task facing Krispy Kreme is to persuade us Brits to fall for their product as much as they have in the good old US of A. America, it seems, is in love with Krispy Kremes, and especially here in the company's hometown of Winston-Salem. This is donut mecca. Krispy Kreme, the brand as much as the product, permeates all aspects of everyday life here, and nowhere more so than on a Saturday night at an ice hockey game. Sports and unhealthy snack eating seem to go hand in hand in America. Well, to be fair, any social event and snack eating go hand in hand here. Americans get through 27 million donuts a day. That's 10 billion a year. The market here is worth $5 billion and was the fastest growing food sector in 2002. It's manna from heaven for those in the industry, and apparently for some God-fearing folk here too. Sunday morning, and it's time for the locals of Winston-Salem in North Carolina to gather for morning communion. To reflect on the things that matter in life, to atone for their sins, and to pray for a better world. Oh, and to eat Krispy Kreme donuts. That's certainly the main attraction for some of the younger members of the congregation. Just a couple of donuts provides a young child with about a third of their daily recommended calories.
How much do you like donuts, Sal?
He likes them a lot.
Church has always provided breakfast for our parishioners, and donuts has always been a big part of breakfast. Ever since I've known about it, and I've known about it for 30 years. We used to bring our children, we had 3 little ones, and they would come eat donuts, and that's how we got them to church.
So it's like a carrot and stick, as it were?
Right, exactly.
Or just a carrot, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think God approves of what Krispy Kreme are doing?
I can't speak for God, but if they're doing good works, I'm sure she does approve. Emma, this is Emma.
Paige Hill is one of the longest-serving members of the local community. She's been bringing her family here to church for years. In the 1930s, she was a student at Salem College in Old Salem, where the first Krispy Kreme store was located. She remembers buying donuts from Vernon Rudolph, the man who created the Krispy Kreme dream in 1937.
First day I came to Salem, before I had any orientation at all, someone had already told me that the man across the street made the best donuts in the world, and I had to go have a donut. And so we would go, and it was amazing because the girls were always walking back and forth. I have seen them walking over to get a donut and come back, and 5 minutes later saying, "You want to go with me to get a donut?" And I said, "And didn't you just get a donut?" And they said, "Well, I want another one."
Krispy Kreme started off modestly enough in the 30s. The original and still secret recipe is said to come from a New Orleans chef. By the end of the decade, Rudolph opened up a wholesale business which sold to local grocery stores. Quickly, it became the donut of choice for Southern folk. But after Rudolph's death in the early 70s, the brand lost its way. They were bought by a conglomerate who messed with the magic recipe and tried to broaden out into other snacks. The company didn't find its feet until it was bought out by some of its franchisees. They then returned to the old recipe and came up with the brilliant wheeze of making the donuts in the middle of the store, right in front of customers. It's called Donut Theatre, and it's been the foundation stone of Krispy Kreme's success ever since. This store can produce as many as 50,000 a day now.
Part of the essence of Krispy Kreme is the experience itself in the store. Being able to see the donuts being made before your very eyes. That's what we call donut theater. You can see the donuts being made from beginning to end. And it's entertaining. It really is fun to sit and watch, and almost mesmerizing as you see the donuts slowly move through the process of rising and then being cooked and then being glazed.
Recent results show it's boom time for Krispy Kremes. Since the year 2000, profits have increased 11-fold. It's the best performing new stock in the US since the turn of the millennium. In the last year alone, they've opened more than 70 new stores worldwide. And incredibly, this has been achieved with no national advertising.
Krispy Kremes may not advertise, but they do make sure that their brand image is everywhere. Look at this merchandise here. You've got caps, cups, cars, all pushing the Krispy Kreme image. And knowing what happens to you if you do happen to consume too many Krispy Kremes, the company very kindly provides you with oversized boxer shorts. I think about another 400 and I might just fit into these.
Word of mouth has proved to be a very powerful tool too.
They have an incredibly loyal following that's willing, not just willing, but that wants to talk about the brand to other people. And if you think about the brands in your life, how many of them do you proselytize about? For how many of those brands are you an evangelist? Krispy Kreme lovers are evangelistic about their brands. They want to tell people about it.
One family in North Carolina are so dotty about Krispy Kreme donuts, they even make up songs about it.
Krispy Kreme donuts are our favorite. If you want to make everyone your pal, here's our scheme. March right down to Krispy Kreme and buy them all a hot glazed donut now. Let's buy the world a hot glazed donut now.
Tell me, first of all, why did you write that song?
We wrote the song, I think, because it's, first of all, it's a 9-mile ride to the Krispy Kreme in Raleigh. So we had to have something to do because the excitement builds. And we write a lot of songs about stuff we do, grocery shopping and things like that. And we decided just to write a Krispy Kreme song because we like Krispy Kremes.
Oh, and there might be another reason.
You've got shares in Krispy Kreme, you've
Yeah.
got stock. How quickly have you seen the share price rise over the years?
We bought stock, I believe it was around 2 years ago, and it's about double for us. So it's our best stock that we have.
And what do you think about the future of it? Do you think it will always do well?
Well, I think it will do well because, first of all, they haven't maximized all the US and Canada. And now they're moving into the UK. And so they've got a whole international market that's never had Krispy Kreme before. So we're all hoping that people across, the ocean like it as much as we do.
Krispy Kremes may not advertise, but do they need to?
Krispy Kremes, they're not crispy or creamy, but they're selling like hotcakes.